So this is just a quick video for anybody who has the Horseware Sportzvibe Wireless rug, and one of their panels or many panels eventually stopped charging. When we had a look at replacing them, I think we could only find them sold in pairs, which were about, I want to say, 140, 150 pounds for the 8 motor panel, and you could only buy them in a pair, so you'd still have one left over if you only had one faulty one. Anyway, the issue tends to be that the battery eventually goes. There's a lot of lithium ion and lithium polymer batteries tend to eventually, they just run down and down and down. You'll probably notice that you get fewer uses out of it between charges, and then eventually, in our case, it just stopped charging altogether. It would flash intermittently. So I thought, well, may as well take it apart and have a look and see if I can fix it myself. When you'll have to sort of pry these seams apart at the end, there'll be loads of glue. I don't know if you can see that while it's charging. There'll be loads of glue, and the battery will be on this chip. It'll be glued to it, so just be really gentle, pry it away. Most of the wires will be at the top where the USB connection goes in, so just don't tug too hard there. And when you get it all loose, you should be left with 2 wires connecting to the front of the chip there, positive and negative of the battery. In my hand, I've got the original one. I couldn't find an exact replacement, but the key thing you're looking for when you look at these, if you look for a lithium polymer battery, you want to check the dimensions because it's pretty snug in there, and some of them are quite thick. So you just want to make sure that you get a 3.7 volt one. The capacity of the battery is generally in proportion to the size. So what I mean by that is the higher the capacity, generally the bigger the battery. Makes sense, right? So I couldn't find this exact one. I looked for the model numbers, I looked for the milliamp rating, which is the capacity. So I looked for a 340 milliamp 3.7 volt battery. Couldn't find any that matched this dimensions with a ruler. So I got a slightly smaller one in the end. I got I think this is a 260. So as you can see, it is like a little bit shorter. So what that really will mean is I'll have to charge this panel, maybe 1 or 2 uses before the other ones. So it's not really the end of the world in comparison to buying a whole new one. I got that battery off eBay. It was £4.50. So compared to £160, again, not that big a deal. And what you need to do, you obviously need to be a little bit confident with soldering. This isn't the toughest thing in the world. If you or your partner or your friend has got a soldering iron, there are 2 connections on the front, a black and a red. Just desolder those, touch the soldering iron to it briefly, the wire should pop right off. Remove the old battery, solder the new one on, which is what I've done now, and as you can see, blinking red light, it's charging away happily. So I hope that helps somebody. That should save you a fair chunk of money, and I may eventually find a slightly bigger capacity battery than this to replace it with, but considering the rug I've got has got 6 panels, I don't want to be eventually replacing them all at full price when the motors run fine. It is literally just this dinky little battery which is completely fixable. So hope that helps somebody. Like I say, have a little look on eBay, make sure you're confident soldering, even though it's not the toughest thing in the world to solder, you're still essentially touching a microchip, so be careful. Thanks.